Hibiscus Moon here with hibiscusmoon.com, and we're here today to talk about why your crystals may not be working. Is that a problem for you? Okay, replay question of the day. Do you think that crystals just don't work? Or do you have certain crystals that haven't been working for you? So let me know that in the comments. Also, it's that time of year almost. I'm so excited. Are you on the wait list for the fall registration of my Certified Crystal Healer course? If you have not yet taken the Hibiscus Moon Certified Crystal Healer course, it's not always open, and I've got one more registration. We only do it twice a year for 2018. This is the last time. This is it. So registration is going to be opening up next month, within about the middle of the month or so, but you need to get on the wait list to be notified because registration is closed right now, but it'll be opening up soon. So if you want to get on the wait list for that, it's hibiscusmoonjoin.com. And under the video, when you go to that page, there'll be an introduction video about the course. You'll see the little box that says get on the wait list, and just put your name and email in there, and boom, you're on the wait list. And then just watch your email. All right, let's get into the content. Wow, I can't talk today. Let me drink some water. All right, so not everybody, but a lot of times, and I do this too, we would just rather have the magic pill. And the most common questions that I get on my Facebook page, it used to be more often in the past, but I think my team and myself, if you've been following me a long while or you've been on my email list, we've said it enough times that there isn't a magic pill answer. But a common question we'll get is, what crystal is good for fill in the blank? They just want to know what the magic pill crystal is for that thing that's really bothering them, and they're trying to mitigate it. So one thing I like to drive home is that crystals are usually not to be relied on all on their own for any sort of cure. If someone comes to me with a medical thing and they want to know what crystal is good to heal that thing, when it comes to medical issues, I always say crystals are wonderful as a healing tool and a support alongside a sound, holistic health plan overseen by a medical professional, okay? And when I say holistic, and most people, it means that that's taking into account all the different aspects that come into play with healing. So we're talking physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, everything. It's all intimately interconnected. So this includes not just your body, but your mind and your spirit, all of it. So you're not just addressing the physical symptoms of a dis-ease of any sort. And that should be the way all professionals of any healing sort, including medical doctors, should approach things, but they don't always do that. And I'm not going to get on my soapbox about that. We'll just move along with our content here. So crystals are great because they allow us to easily tap into the vibrational frequencies or healing frequencies that we might be seeking, and allow us to do that more efficiently. Not to say that it can't be done without crystals. Of course it can be done without crystals. You can do everything and anything. It's all possible, right? But crystals, as I always say, are here to assist us as a tool and a support. Okay, allowing us to do the required work using less energy, because that's the definition of a tool. That's the physics definition of a tool, which is that a tool is anything that allows you to do the work using less energy. You think about it. If you have a lawnmower, that's a tool that allows you to cut the grass using a lot less energy than it would take for you to go out there with a pair of scissors or with no tools at all and just using your hands, right? So yes, as part of a sound holistic healing practice, crystals can be a huge help. But maybe you're approaching your work with the crystals in a way that's maybe blocking your desired outcome. Yeah, you could be getting in your own way. So we'll take a closer look at that in just a bit, all right? I and you might have heard me say this a lot of times, you might be sick of hearing me say this. I talk about this in my Certified Crystal Healer course. I really like to approach working with vibrational frequencies by layering up similar vibrational frequencies, especially when we're working towards treating something that's very specific and acute. So that means layering up the vibrational frequencies that are similar, like sound, color, scent, brain waves, and of course bringing the crystals into that, light, all of a similar frequency, but layering them up together. Okay, so of course, like I said before, if you do any of those things and take them out and do them individually, they may work wonders all on their own, right? But when you pull them in all together and add them up, you create a really powerful resonant frequency that is the greater than the sum of its parts. So it produces a more profound effect, healing effect, or successful outcome, more profound because you've layered them up and amplified them. All right, so through my own research and work, and then that, of course, I have the ripple effect of being the founder of an academy and all my student body. We have thousands of students around Mama Earth and their collective research and work. I've discovered that crystals really help to further enhance and provide that correct healing environment required for any kind of healing. So just another thing to look at, and sorry, they're mowing the lawn outside, so you might hear that. Another thing to look at, just a little side note, is the size of your crystal. So is the crystal you're working with large enough? This is Amy Bro. I have him out because I was using him while teaching my crystal formations class last night, and I enjoyed having him nearby, just hanging out a little bit, because I usually don't keep him near the computer equipment, but I figured just for today you might enjoy seeing him. So, and he's big, so we're talking about size. And I know it's an unpopular belief that size matters, but sometimes it's simply the size of your crystal. Is it big enough to impact the energy on a physical level? Because there's an energy torus that correlates to the size of the crystal around the crystal itself. There are other variables that come into play, but if we just want to get down to brass tacks, is the size of your crystal big enough to do the work that you're expecting it to do? All right, it might just be too small to give you the impact, that powerful punch that you're looking for. It might be time to step it up. So when people say that they don't believe crystals can heal, first of all, keep in mind, the most important thing is your mindset. If you're coming at it from a place of extreme skepticism and I'm going to prove them wrong, watch this, it's not going to do anything, your mindset is a huge part of the impact that working with crystals is going to have on you. And this is true for anything, not just working with crystals. We do create our own reality. All right, whatever your belief is, whatever it is, it's bathing every single one of your cells, each individual cell, all of your DNA strands with that energetic vibrational frequency, bathing them in that belief environment, whatever your belief is. And yeah, this has been scientifically proven. For those of you that want scientific proof, just go check out Dr. Bruce Lipton. You can check him out on YouTube. Check out his work with epigenetics. That's specifically what you're looking for. You can go to YouTube and type in Dr. Bruce Lipton, epigenetics. He's a developmental biologist, and he's got some amazing information, research to share in that whole thing. So it's not seeing is believing, as most of us operate. It's believing is seeing. Let me repeat that. Believing is seeing, okay? So you may be familiar with, and I'll just try to give some quick background information just so we can stay on topic. Since the Double-Slit Experiment, which was an experiment done over 100 years ago, that showed that light and matter display characteristics of being both waves and particles, but more importantly, and unexpectedly, it taught us the nature of quantum mechanics. And thanks to that experiment and the realization of the observer effect, that what the observer thought was going to happen or believed would happen would affect the outcome, as well as Heisenberg's principle coming up with his uncertainty principle, scientists realize that our reality depends upon our human belief or our human consciousness. Our belief affects the reality. These experiments and these realizations in physics, in the world of physics, proved this. No matter how much scientists try to downplay, this is monumental. It's an important aspect. And, you know, as much as they might talk about those experiments and stuff, they kind of like don't really discuss that part of it, the whole observer effect, which was like mind-blowing. Our entire universe is an information field that we're feeding into, and it's feeding off of us. It's a feedback loop where we are all inputting data into the field and downloading data back, affecting our consciousness, creating our own reality. Okay, there goes the lawnmower again. My purpose, my big why, is to connect the science with the metaphysics. You know that's what I love to do, and show how the two intertwine beautifully. They just dovetail into each other. Nassim Haramein recently on Instagram, I noticed he was quoted as saying, spirituality is physics that has not yet been explained by science. And that reminded me of science fiction author Arthur C. Clarke's quote, I hope you guys can hear me okay, that said, any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. So my goal is to show you how real the metaphysical is by presenting the science that's around it. So why your crystals may not be working. It can mean maybe this is the wrong time for you to be working with this stone. The timing is off. So to test it out, try working with different crystal pieces of the same exact type. So if it's an amethyst you're working with, maybe don't work with that amethyst, work with another few amethysts of similar types, okay? Just to see if that particular crystal, the timing is off and it's not time to be working with that one crystal. Maybe it's not ready to be working in that moment at this time. The crystal itself may need to be vibrationally recalibrated. You know, we all need to be unplugged some of the time, right? Sometimes, you know, like I unplug, you know, and I'm talking like unplug from the world, from social media, whatever. Sometimes your laptop is not working or your phone stops working. You need to hit the reset button. Well, the same thing can happen with your crystals, and they need to be recalibrated. It needs a retuning, I like to call it. So some consider this a cleansing. The best way to do this, I feel the easiest way, is to use sound acoustics, because the vibrations, you can actually physically feel them going through the object, yourself, the crystal lattice, and it actually recalibrates the vibrations, the dominant oscillatory rate of the crystal. So it may need to be vibrationally recalibrated, okay? Another thing is maybe that crystal is not ever going to be a vibrational match for you, and it's time to move on. Maybe it's time to regift it back to the earth, have it go back into the rock cycle. Or it might be time to regift it to somebody else. Maybe that crystal was not, maybe its time of being a vibrational match with you is over. Maybe it never was a vibrational match for you. All right, so 3 things you can do to get your crystal working again. All right, number 1, and here's Amy Brewer one more time, just to give him a little bit of camera time. You might want to ease into working with a new stone. Maybe this is happening with a new stone for you. So you're not going to want to like dive in full force right away, but just kind of ease into it more slowly and more gently, rather than trying to force yourself to maybe have the crystal on you all day or wear it all day if it's a piece of jewelry right off the bat. Maybe try meditating with it for 5 minutes a day at first, and then after you've done that for a little while, then maybe put it in your pillowcase so it's safe, you know, it doesn't roll off the bed, and try sleeping with it in your pillowcase, so you're with it for about half the day and not the whole entire day, and then maybe working with it every other day and kind of ease into it slowly that way. Okay. Number 2 would be anoint the stone. So anoint it maybe before wearing it as a piece of jewelry, or before meditating with it or working with it. And this is sort of like a little ceremony or a little prayer you can do to really create like a vibrational bond between you and the crystal, and create that little bond and make that piece really your own. Okay. So I would do that after the first step. You've eased into working with it, and maybe do this little ritual with a little bit of essential oil on the tip of your finger, and just put it on the stone, and maybe say a little prayer or a little affirmation and how you would like to work with the crystal. All right. Maybe you can take it into your sacred space. Perhaps you have a little altar or something like that. If you need ideas on creating a sacred space, I have a free eKit on creating a sacred space with crystals. You can go grab it at hibiscusmoongift.com. If you subscribe to my newsletter, it's the first thing that you get in your welcome email. So you can take a tiny little drop of essential oil and just put it on the crystal. Maybe you prefer something like Florida water or holy water. You can do like that. I would check the stone's Mohs hardness. So use a good stone book. The Book of Stones is a great one, or a geology reference, and make sure that it has a Mohs hardness of 5 or harder or higher, because otherwise water can slightly damage the aesthetics of the crystal if you put too much on there. But I'm being overly cautious here with that. All right, and then just rub it on the piece while stating a favorite prayer, or like I said, an affirmation, and maybe leave it in your sacred space for 7 days or so. That will really create a strong bond between you and that crystal. Okay, and then beyond that, if you notice anything funky going on with the stone, or it's just not responding to you, then retune it. All right, and again, use sound acoustics, maybe a crystal singing bowl or a tuning fork, or you could just place it in front of a speaker and turn the music up loud, because what that's doing is it's creating sound acoustics with a high amplitude. And that high amplitude is going to trump the oscillatory frequency of the crystal, and it will recalibrate it down to the crystal lattice, down to the molecules. Okay, so those are 3 things you can do. All right, and if nothing is working, like I said earlier, maybe your time with this stone is up, and it's time to move on to the next thing. It's over, and it's time to gift it to someone else or re-gift it back to Mama Earth. Okay, so again, if you are not already on the wait list, you're interested in the Certified Crystal Healer course, this is it for 2018. We're going to be opening registration within a month or so. You need to get on my wait list, because registration right now is closed. You can't get in it right now, but you can get on the wait list. Go to hibiscusmoonjoin.com, and under the video there, you can see where you get on the wait list, put your name and your email, and you can get on the wait list. Okay, everybody. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. This was fun. Namaste, crystal blessings, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.